Greetings everyone and welcome to your last overview video. Week 16, you made it, the last week of the semester. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to finish everything this week. So first you're going to finish the book. You'll do your final 2 QQMS assignments. And there is a final discussion board. So first, you're going to finish the book. So that involves reading chapter 26. It involves reading chapter 27, doing a QQMS for 26, a QQMS for 27, and then there is a final discussion board. You can see the prompt here. And yeah, just do a good job. Remember that you're being graded on a rubric. I'm expecting nice and thorough answers. So please take your time. Do a good job. It's your last discussion board post. Okay, and your last QQMS assignments. Then it's all about the final exam. So let me get through that information. First, you need to study. There is in the final exam folder that is in week 16, you'll see that there's prep. Now this opens on Friday, May 1st, just like the rest of week 16. So you should use the weekend to study. Again, you can see we're asking you to reread the articles from this semester. The exam is comprehensive. That means that you are expected to use your knowledge from everything we've done. It's cumulative. Everything we've done is available for you to be thinking about for this exam. So reread the articles. Go through your binder. Just reread everything that we've done. Reread all of your QQMS work. You do not have time to reread the book. You shouldn't have to because you've done such a good job on your QQMS assignments. You should be able to read through them and remember everything that was in the book. I would also review the quests as well as your rabbit holes because they're going to help add depth to your thinking that will then be reflected in your final exam. There's some things that you should prepare to write about on the exam. So this is all of the things you should be doing in preparation for the exam. Do the prep work. Don't jump straight to the exam. There will be a huge difference in your work if you try to skip the prep. Okay, then complete the exam. You have a long time to do that. 11 days, which is a really long time. And that's both good and bad. It's good because it gives you lots of time if you work hard and slow and steady and thorough, and if you do what's expected of you, that's plenty of time. I would expect you'll finish early, and as soon as you're done, I would encourage you to turn it in. But I also know, and I worry, that some of you will go, sweet, I've got all the way till next Friday to get started on this. And then your paper will show it. And this paper, final exam, is worth 10% of your grade. It has the power to bring your grade up a letter grade. Or down. So you don't want to go down. You want to make sure that this is the best work that you've done. It's also your chance to really show me everything that you've learned. Show me you're ready to move on to your college level coursework. So one thing to note, please look at the due date. It's 10:50 a.m. This reflects what our final exam end time would have been had we still been face-to-face. Your exam time was Friday, May 15th at 8 o'clock. We would have met in the classroom. I would have given you an exam to complete, and you would have had 3 hours to complete it. This time, you're getting it way early. It's starting Monday of week 16, and then you have all the way until Friday of final exam week, but it's due at 10:50 in the morning. There are no extensions. There can be no late work. You must make note, put it in your phone. Pause this presentation right now. Put it in your phone that you know it's due Friday at 10:50 in the morning, because that's different than what things have been. So it's really important that you note the final exam due date time. The folders will close, everything will close, and you cannot come back from that. Okay? So make sure you know that it's due at 10:50. Get it turned in on time. You have plenty of time to do it. Just start early. Please don't wait till the last minute. Some advice. First, there's 4 opportunities on the exam to respond and share your learning. 4 opportunities. There's 3 questions, but number 1 has 2 parts, so that means that there's 4 opportunities. Be specific. Make sure when it says be specific that you're being specific. Don't just say things like, well, I learned a lot about archaeology, right? Like, okay, what did you learn? And you need to be specific and use quotes and examples from the different texts that you choose. Make sure you say, like, for example, well, I learned that when archaeologists dig, they do these test pits to find the scope and distance of the site. I learned that in the archaeology textbook chapter when we read it, right? So refer to the text specifically. Make sure I know what text you're talking about. Use quotes for where appropriate, but make sure you're being specific. Generalities are not a good idea. Number 1A is a reflection question. When we reflect, remember, we look back. What did we know before? What did we learn? What do we understand? And then now, how will we move forward with that knowledge? That's how you reflect. So I expect to see those 3 sections in 1A in your answer. Number 3 is the biggest, most involved question on the exam because it has you keep your head up, right? Like we've been in the book and in the readings all semester. So now get your head up, look around. How does everything you're learning and that you learned all semester, how does it connect to the world around you? And so this to me is really like the most important question on the exam because it really helps me see how you're starting to be a scholar and connect to your world. So big deal, number 3. Again, I've already mentioned the exam is worth 10% of your final grade. So make sure you're proud of what you've turned in. It should be typed. It should be polished. It should be purposeful. And it should show that you have worked hard, done some revision, done some thinking, really worked hard on it. I've mentioned here that a good program, it's free if you Google it. It's called Grammarly. It's a good opportunity. All you have to do is copy and paste your work into the program and it edits your grammar and tells you what to fix. That's something you should be doing with every paper. Right? You should always turn in your best work, and that means using the tools around you so that you can submit your best work. So, show me that you have some pride in your work. Show me that you've paid attention to those details. Next, some page guidance. I know if we were in class, you would have asked. I'm assuming double-spaced. I'm assuming a normal font with a normal size. So you should be using like that 11 or 12-point font. I don't want you making your fonts bigger just so that you get the page requirements. I've been teaching long enough that I know what that looks like. So you should be using a normal font. It should be double-spaced. In general, question 1 should be about 3 pages. There's 2 parts to that question, and one of the parts has 2 sections that you'll talk about. 3 pages shouldn't be a problem. Question 2 should be about 2 pages long, and question 3 should be 2 to 3 pages long. You are asked to cite multiple texts for number 3, so if you go over the 3 pages, that would make sense also. You may reach out to Sarah if you have questions about any of the directions, but if you have questions about anything else, you need to be contacting me. She is not allowed to talk to you or help you answer these questions in any way. You are on your own, okay? Reach out to me with questions, but other than clarifying directions, you should not be reaching out to Sarah. She is not to provide any content guidance on this exam. Okay, also, I expect that while you may study together, that all of your work that you turn in and submit here in your papers is your own work and your own ideas. You should consider this a very individual activity. Again, it's perfectly fine to call your friends, text them, do some discussion, but when you sit down to write, you should not be relying on anyone else. It should be 100% your thoughts, your words, your work. Okay, then we're done. That's it. Great work. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for a great semester. I really think you all transitioned to this online environment. Most of you did such a good job. I hope you've learned a lot about that as we ended the semester. Please let me know in the future if there's anything I can do to help you. Keep calm. The semester's about to end. Congratulations, you've just about made it. Please let me know how I can help. Have a wonderful summer, and hopefully we'll be back on campus in the fall. I'd love if you stop by so I can see you. It would be great to catch up. And so again, thanks for everything, and let me know how I can help.